Now, we're going to have a slightly different experience with posture here to show you the role that it plays in your own daily life. First, I'd like you, this is only going to be for a very short time, I'd like you to briefly remember an unpleasant social event from some time in your life. Feel your body as you do that. We'll only do this for a few seconds. Okay, stop. Come back here, look around. Now I would like you to take a posture where you're sitting that you would consider one of high self-esteem and self-confidence, a posture that represents that to you. Make it a relaxed one. We don't want any tension, but one that you feel that way right now, okay? All right. Now, think of that unpleasant event again, but do not change your posture. Okay, come on back for a moment. First of all, how many people would not recall the event?
I had to work at it. I had to work at it.
Quite a few of you, that's right. That's right. Yes, yes. And for how many who were able to think of it, how many did the feeling change? Yeah, for everybody, right. Okay. The way you remember things, and especially, well, good things or unpleasant things, your body associates with a certain body awareness, your subconscious associates with a certain body pattern. A certain way of holding it, a certain way of moving. When you have for yourself your self-esteem posture, there's several things about it. First of all, practicing your self-esteem posture will help make self-esteem a habit all by itself. Second, when you find yourself encountering or remembering an unpleasant incident, if you've practiced enough, you can let that trigger your reminder to move back into your self-esteem posture. And all the energy of that will go away, and even the memory very often totally fade out because it doesn't fit that body pattern. Now the shamans very, very many ages ago found the relationship between posture and consciousness. Mental or emotional state and body state. And whereas most of the time, in modern times, we try to use the mind to change the body, hey, folks, you can also use the body to change the mind. And the good thing about that is you don't have to think about it. Find the posture that represents the state that you want, move into that posture, and the state appears. Without having to do any exercises, without having to do any affirmations. Affirmations can simply, reinforce it, but you're there. So fast. Oh, there's lots of times in my life I wish I'd known this a lot earlier. One time I had to take over a job, and I didn't feel I was ready. I didn't feel I was competent. But I had to become the director of some programs in a country, another country, and I had to become a director years before I was supposed to be one. I was supposed to have 2 years of training. I had 4 months of training, and I was plunked into the job, and I did not feel ready. So I had to keep saying to myself, I am the director, I am the director, I am the director, I am the director, almost 24 hours a day. It took about 3 or 4 weeks until I started, reinforced by daily activity, where I finally felt like I was the director. But today, hey, what does a director look like? Oh, okay, I'm the director. Okay, so fast. really, really do suggest you practice finding the different postures that your body associates with, and you can do this with memory, with different kinds of experiences that represent the way you really want to feel with certain people and in certain situations. Now, there's a variation of this, and this is the one I mentioned I called wannabe. In this variation, you study the postures of people. Actors are a good, very good one, but you study the postures of people who have the state that you want to learn. And you practice just on your own, by yourself, moving into that particular posture, walking that way, sitting that way, as if you were that person, to try and get a sense of that. And you'll find that you can learn some of these posture states in that way too. It doesn't mean you will mimic them. At first you start off doing that for a training exercise, and then you'll very subtly develop it into your own variation. And a lot of actors do that. In fact, one did it so well, he became his image. John Wayne is one who developed an image for a particular role, Stagecoach, and then he practiced that, used it in all of his movies, and then he began using it in real life and became the role in real life. And it was a good role. It gave him confidence, had tremendous impression of other people, made him very easy to mimic by comedians, but they had to move into that. And you know who was talking because there was confidence and strength coming out of that. He did a good job of developing that. Other actors have various postures that they use for various roles. It's a very interesting thing to study if you ever want to. But you could look for someone who has the characteristics that you would like to learn how to have and study and practice their posture for a while and be aware of the experience. Or, like I said, you can find your own from your own experiences, like we just did.